What's up and welcome back to my channel for another bullet journal video. And today we have a small business bullet journal setup. I am creating a brand new bullet journal for my small business that I am in the process of creating, and I thought that I would record it so you guys can actually see and get some inspiration for your own business or just for work spread. This video is technically a part 1 where I'm going to be doing yearly spreads as well as first launch spreads, and I will do a part 2 which will be up soon on my channel, so don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss that. But it will be up pretty soon, and it will be on all of the monthly spread as well as some bonus just random spreads. So for this new journal, I am starting with a notebook therapy notebook, which is my first time using one, and I am absolutely in love with them. I never had a white paper notebook before, so it was a new experience seeing how my markers worked on it, and overall I just loved it. I unfortunately don't have a coupon code for you guys as I have for my other notebooks, but I am working on finding one. So I am gonna jump straight into this setup, and what you see me doing is my key spread, which I am keeping pretty simple, and I decided to go with a crystal, a light blue crystal theme for this yearly setup, just because I wanted some kind of a theme to keep it cohesive, and I think it looks pretty minimalist and also pretty cute, and it doesn't take away in the functionality of any of the spreads. So the way I made this spread was by having the word key at the top of the page, somewhat centered. I tried, but it's not perfect, and I just did the corners of a box to have my key in, which you will see in a second what my key looks like. And then in each corner I added a few crystals as well as little stars, and I used baby blue Tombow dual brush markers. And for the rest of the spreads I also used a cream color, just to stay in pretty neutral and just light vibes, so it doesn't distract me while I use those spreads. So for my key, I just have a box for task, a half crossed box for started, then I have the cross complete for completed task, a line across for cancelled, an exclamation point for important, and a clock for deadlines. Obviously there will be a lot more, but I know them by heart, so I just wanted a couple just in case. And then the page next to it will stay blank for now, but I will have my shop logo. I recorded that really in advance. It was done a month ago, so I didn't come up with a brand name or a logo back then. Technically I still haven't, but I have an idea. But basically I will use that, and if you want to see that I will probably post it on Pinterest, so you can follow me there if you want to see a lot more spreads. So after this non-existent logo page, I decided to have an index. I normally don't have this type of page. I found it pretty useless, but because this is not just all the month in order and I have a lot of blank pages in between to have a lot of space to work with and hopefully use this journal for over a year. At least that's what I'm planning on doing, but I don't know how well it's gonna do. but basically because I want to just use it on long term, I have a lot of blank space, and I I numbered the pages to be able to find them easily and just to keep track in an index. So I just did the simplest layout as possible with just a header which says index and some crystals, and then at about 6 dots lower from the top of the page I just drew a line, and then I have a small column for the page number and then for the description, so what page it is, and I did that on both of the sides. So the 2 pages are for that, so I have all the space necessary for as much as I need. And also the numbers of the pages start right after the index, just because I thought it was dumb to have the number 1 as the index, so that's just how I decided to do this. So for this next spread we have a future log, which what I want to do is use it as a goals page for each month and just set out goals or any big things that I want to happen on those months. It is starting in May and ending in April of 2022. And as I said, I will be using cream for some of my spreads, and this is one of them. And to be able to fit a full year, I did 3 rows of 4, and I really like how it lays perfectly. And I did leave the page next to it blank if I can add the next few months depending on how long I use this journal for. And I did cursive lettering for the name of each month, and using the outline of the box as part of the writing, so it looks like it is part of the box, and I really love how that turned out. And at the top I just wrote in cursive lettering future and then log in normal lettering with obviously some crystals here and there. If you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing to my channel. It would help myself so much and I would appreciate it greatly. You are helping me so much just by watching through this video, and we can jump straight back into the actual spread. So we have a growth tracker, and I cannot give myself the credit for this spread. I saw it here on YouTube. I cannot find who did it, but if I do, I will have her channel in the description box or her video. But it is a growth tracker to keep track of different growth. So for my shop, for my different social medias, for a billion things honestly that could be used, and to keep track of analytics or subscribers or anything like that. And I did a 2-page spread just because I don't know if I want to add any new things to track, so I thought that I have space to grow with this and just to have a lot more space. and the first column is for the month, and then I would follow each line to fill in the analytics. And for the year of 2022, I did a lighter cream, and then I did a little bit of a darker shade for the month that will be in 2023, which is so crazy to have to say. And the growth tracker, I actually messed up and started it in June, but it's not too bad, even though technically all the other spreads do start in May. And the first 4 columns are the one that I am currently using, which is YouTube tracker, TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest. And once my shop will be open, I will add my shop and any other sources that can grow. And we can already move on to the next spread that I made. Those ones are very specifically for small business, and it is a pros and cons. Both of the pages are. The first one that you can see me do now is a Shopify pros and cons spread. I did that when I was trying to decide what platform to use, or if I should use a platform at all, and I was really debating between Shopify and Squarespace, so I did one for each to be able to lay the pros and cons and to decide myself and have a good comparison. So I just kept it really simple with a header as I did for all the other ones, and then I did 2 small rectangles on the side with equal distance in between, and just had write in it pros and cons. Just simple but effective, and I think that's the best way to have a spread, is that it is just, it's cute, but it's also practical, and that's all that matters. And then I did pretty much the same layout for this Squarespace one, except that I alternated, and the pros is on one side and the con is on one side, with the header at the bottom. So that's the only difference. So this next spread could be beneficial for anyone, but I thought I would still include it in this specific video because it is an expense tracker. And for a small business, there is a lot of hidden cost and a lot of small fees and just a lot of things to keep track of. And I just wanted to be able to have this to keep track of what I'm spending versus how much I actually earn. And I did use the cream color to have one with and one without to separate the columns for each one. And I have one for date, one for description, a category, if it's a minus or a plus, and the amount, with just a simple header at the top and a total at the bottom. So I kept it really minimalist, simple, so I can see really clearly what is going on. And I will also do a complete video on this bullet journal at the end of the year, doing a review of it, seeing what worked, and also sharing it filled. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to ring the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I post. So this next spread is one that will be really useful for me, and it is also a 2-page spread in a table form, and it is a first launch master to-do list, which I'm gonna use to add all of the extremely big task that needs to be done before I can launch. So be making the product, or creating the website, creating an Instagram, and all of those things that needs to be done in order to have a shop. So I thought I would create a page to keep track of all of it in the same place, and I have a column which I just have a tick mark. So I will have a little box to tick for each task, which for now I left them in pencil. I have a huge section for task and a due date. I'm not sure if everything will have a due date, but I thought why not include it in case I need something at a specific date. So we can move on to the next page, which is also first launch related, and that is first launch product. And this page is obviously important for me to decide what will be my first item that I will be releasing. I'm planning on releasing slowly new things so I don't overwhelm myself, so I will be able to list all of it. And I did change the spread a little bit after I made them, so you'll be able to see in the close-ups that I added some cream lines. So every 2 lines I have a line of cream under the second section, so I have a column for ticking, so when something is ready, a column for the product name or the product idea, the price, and if I've done the listing or any other step that needs to be done in order for it to be launched. And then I have a product idea, so any other products that I would want to be doing in the future. I could have done a bigger spread for this, but in the end I can still make another one. It's not that big of a deal, so I thought I would just do it this way. And I actually did the exact same thing I did for the first launch, which is to add at the second section a line of color just to separate them and have it the whole page easier to read. And for the columns, I have once again a tick one. I have a product name or product idea. I have price, date, and listing. Date is for if I have a specific release date in mind, or if it's a holiday product. And that pretty much concludes this video. You will still see a couple more bonus spread in the close-ups at the end, but I went through all of the pages with you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to stay tuned for next week's video, which will be the rest of this, setting up the monthly spread. So I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, please subscribe if you want to support my channel, like this video if you liked it, share it with any other business owner that you know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!